Hello, this is Smriti, your friendly neighborhood book reviewer. That is if your neighborhood is in Sivri. If not, then I'm just friendly book reviewer. The book I want to review today is Less by Andrew Sean Greer. This book won the 2018 Pulitzer Award, and honestly, a lot of people were really surprised by it. Not because it was a bad book, but because Pulitzers are supposed to be deep and meaningful and haunting, and at first glance, this book doesn't really seem like that. But when you do start reading it, I feel like it is exactly that. But it's also funny and lighthearted and witty, and it has a lot of really amazing lines that make you go like, oh my. And to give a Pulitzer to a funny book, that's unheard of, because the previous Pulitzers were always given to books about slavery, about inner turmoil, about oppression, and just really dark, deep things. So this one is quite different. So what is this book about, you ask? Andrew Less, yes, the book is about him, is a failed author at the precipice of 50. He's just finished his book, his last book, and is feeling strictly okay about life. He then gets an invitation by his ex-lover of 9 years to attend the ex-lover's wedding. Not wanting to say yes because if he goes it'll be awkward, and not wanting to say no because he doesn't want to admit defeat. He says that he won't be able to come because he's not going to be in town. Now, he doesn't really have a place to go, so what he does is that he accepts all literary invitations that he's received over the past few months and decides to travel the world. What follows is his journey from San Francisco, which is where he lives, to New York, where he interviews a famous author, to Mexico, where he has a talk on his ex-lover, who's a very famous poet, to Italy, where he's nominated for a translation award, to London for a transit, to Morocco, where he goes for his 50th birthday holiday, to India for a writing retreat, and then to Japan because he volunteers at a poker table to go write about the cuisine. So, very long journey. Less is a bitingly funny and yet supremely insightful book about aging, travel, the LGBT community. The characters are raw and very real. Initially, you don't really like them, but then you grow to kind of love them. The language that is used in the book is like language that we use on a day-to-day basis, mixed with some amazing one-liners which are really funny or give you full introspection vibes. It is simply written and is full with a lot of things that you can take away. Basically, at the heart of it, it's kind of like a romance novel, funny romance novel. I still can't believe the Pulitzer judges gave this book the Pulitzer. Times are changing and I love it. What I didn't like about this book is that sometimes the book can be a bit slow. Like you're just like, oh, where is this man going with this book? But if you can shake that off, you're golden. The plot line also is not the most original. You've seen the likes of this in Eat, Pray, Love, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So it's not the most original, but I feel like the authors breathed new air into it. So I quite liked it. Read this if you want a light comical read and want to read a Pulitzer book that's not only about pain and anguish and death. Read this book if you feel like you're aging and want a book that you can strongly relate to. Don't read this book if you're not into comic or funny writing, and if you need like a character that's super likable from the beginning, because there will be times that you will want Arthur Less to take his head out of his ass because he's just like frustrating. The characters are meant to be unlikable. Don't read this if you want a super pacey novel, because even though it is a 277-page novel, the book kind of meanders a little bit, but it's still fine. You like this book if you've liked Eleanor, Oliphant is completely fine, A Man Called Ove, and Pulitzer winner All the Light You Cannot See. All in all, I loved this book and I give this 4 and a little something Smritis.